Hey everybody, Big Al. My midlife crisis. I had mentioned a few times about my low testosterone reading from my medical tests I had done. Um, Out here in the country, these country doctors they didn't want to treat me for it. I was having a lot of problems with energy. I'd go to work, come home, go to sleep. I'd sleep all day, and sometimes I wouldn't even wake up and cook dinner for my kid. And I'd get home, take a shower, go to bed, and I wouldn't wake up again until I had to go to work. After a while, it started to, more often than I'd like, I started to not even go to work. I started calling in. I'd be tired. I slept, 10 hours, 12 hours. I don't know how I was tired, but I would be. And I was having, there's probably a little depression in there too. I got so much going on. And it would seem that I got a lot of it in the family anyways. But I went and had a lot of tests done, tried to figure out what was going on. I tested for lupus, fibromyalgia, testosterone, all my regular standard blood tests for cholesterol and all that, and cost me about $1,200. My insurance didn't pay any of it, and after all that money, I found almost nothing. My cholesterol was perfect, which really shocked them for a 350-pound guy. They expected it to be way out of whack, but like I said, I eat low carb. I haven't had sugar in 3 years, and with no grains or potatoes or anything like that, you don't get any sugar in your blood. So my triglycerides and stuff were all real low. Everything was great. The only thing we found was my testosterone level was low. Now, most places will say anything under a 300 is low. The doctor here says anything under 250 is low. Now, I know guys that are like 400 and they're being treated for low testosterone. But the doctor here, my score came in 251, 1 point above their 250, and they wouldn't treat me. They wouldn't really even discuss any treatment options. They said I didn't need it, even though I went in presenting, all the symptoms: fatigue, muscle pain, joint pain, lack of mental clarity. The only thing I didn't get tested for, which I wish I did, is Lyme disease. It's not real common down here in Texas, but I'm from Wisconsin, and it's very, very common up there. Didn't think about that till after the fact. So I went and I have some friends who are bodybuilders. I used to work out quite a bit when I was younger. And bodybuilders, when they do steroid cycles, the steroids will shuts down their body. Their bodies stop producing testosterone, pretty much because they're putting so much in it. When they get done with a steroid cycle, they have to get their bodies going again, and they use something that's called Clomid a lot of times. There's some other things, but Clomid is the name is clomaphine citrate, generically called Clomid. It's technically a female fertility drug. It's been used for years to treat male low testosterone, off-label use. There's really the only testosterone replacement therapy that doesn't make you sterile is the clomaphine, if it works. There's different reasons your body can have low testosterone. I'm not a doctor. I just done a lot of reading, done a lot of studying. Sometimes the clomaphene will work, sometimes it won't. If there's a problem with how your body produces it, it's not going to work. If it's a problem with your body sensing, your levels and thinking you have enough and stopping making it, then it can work. And just like when the bodybuilders take it, it jump starts their testosterone production, kickstarts their body back into making its own. And it's the same thing for the use I want to use it for. I started taking it. They would not prescribe it because it's off-label use, and the doctors around here just aren't that liberal, I guess. Considering they wouldn't even treat me, with a standard therapy. They weren't going to treat me with an off-label therapy. So I went and found it myself. I got some when I was overseas, and you can buy it over there, and in the Philippines, a lot of other places, India's and all, all the Indian drugs and everything else. I don't recommend this. Don't do what I do. You can end up dead, I guess. All I can say is if you're gonna buy overseas, make sure you have a good, reputable source, one that's been recommended. Somebody's used it. You can get decent stuff. A lot of the times you just get garbage. I think most of the time it just don't work, and I don't think a lot of it's gonna hurt you, but it just won't work. And I will say, the first round that I got, I immediately started feeling better. My energy came up, and started being able to get out and work on the house more and get out and do things. I bought a second round after I ran out, and I don't know if it's just wearing off, or I just don't notice it as much anymore, but I don't feel the energy that I had. So I'm not sure if the second one was maybe not as high quality or whatnot. I was tested, my testosterone went up. It was back up in like mid 600s, and so I know that at least that first round had worked. I can't afford to keep just going having it tested all the time. You can get it in pill form. These are 100 milligrams. They're a tiny little pill. Standard for something like this use, most of the guys, and I know I talk to a lot of older guys, especially over in the Philippines, that use this therapy, because you can get this stuff over the counter and it's cheap. And the standard dosage is about 25 milligrams every other day. The half-life of it is long enough that you don't need to take it every day. If you do, it'll just keep accumulating the dosages. You do it, some guys will do it every other day, 3 times a week, and they'll skip like a Sunday. Other guys just go every other day, and that's what I always did. Since these are 100 milligram pills, they split them. So the problem is, it's such a small pill. For 25 milligrams, you technically have to split it, 4 ways, and it's too small to split. So I split them in half. I actually haven't taken the pills too much. I'll split them in half. That's 50 milligrams, and I'll do it every 3rd day. I pretty much use the pills just to fill in. What I normally use is the liquid. It's a peptide. You can buy these in the US from peptide companies. I cut the label off where I got this from because I'm not advertising, and I don't want to be responsible for anybody getting in trouble with anything. But you can Google peptide companies. Blue bottle, Google peptide companies. This stuff, I think it's, my second order was real thick, almost like a gel. This has an eyedropper, but we don't use the eyedropper. You get a 1 cc doser. It's like a needle without the needle on it, just the plastic part. And these are 40 milligrams by 30 milliliters. That means There's 30 milliliters in that bottle, and each milliliter is a 40 milligram dosage. So I get a 1 millimeter or 1 cc doser. It's the same, and I figure out the dose for about 25 to 30 milligrams, and I take that every other day. The first order I made of this, it was real liquidy, and sorry, my first order was real liquidy, and it was almost like just ground up pills in a liquid. You had to shake it real good, and the longer it would sit, the more powdery, gritty it would get. So, I mean, when you first opened the bottle, it was all liquid, but as time went on, getting towards the bottom, it would more solidify in there, and it was harder and harder to shake up. But that's the stuff that worked. The gel stuff, it didn't seem to work as well. And I talked to some other guys online who said they got the same thing. One order would be real liquidy, next one would be more gel, but they seem to all work. So, that's what I've been taking. I didn't really want, I was concerned. I'm 43 years old. I don't really want kids anymore. I have one son, and he's 14. I'm old, and he's older, and I don't really want another one. And I'm fortunate that my Filipino girlfriend is older and doesn't want, she has kids, so she doesn't really want it. I think she probably wants one, but she's come to the understanding that, we're getting older and it's probably not a great idea. So, at first I was reluctant to do regular testosterone replacement therapy because it shuts off your body's natural production. So you become sterile. And even though I didn't want any kids, I didn't know if I was quite ready to not have the option. But here lately, I'm thinking I'm going to stop taking the Clomid for a few months and go to go down to Houston. There's some urology clinics down there that you can just go in and pay $50 and get the blood tests. They test for prostate and testosterone. And I think I'm just going to go do that and see about getting on regular testosterone. The only thing with the clomaphine is there's really no studies, since it's off-label. There's no studies for long-term data in men, even though it's been being used off-label since probably the 80s. I think they said maybe the 70s, I forget. But a long time. But I have found clinics in the U.S. who do use it and prescribe it regularly off-label for men, and the data they put out is all good and no problems. Anytime you start dealing with hormones, you start worrying about cancer, but it seems to be a very small risk, and to me it's worth it. Life with low testosterone is no fun. It's even beyond the energy and just not being able to do anything, your sex drive goes to hell. And you just don't care anymore, and I wasn't ready to not care anymore. And I think my low testosterone was part of the reason for the problems that started in my marriage. And I was running over the road driving truck, and I was gone for long periods of time, so that didn't help. Take it for what it's worth, but I'm not making any recommendations. I'm surely not telling you what to do. I'm a truck driver, not a doctor, and that qualifies me for just about nothing. So, take care. Talk to you later.